Hey class, I'm going to introduce you to Google Slides, an application from Google that will allow you to make presentations that you can use in school, work, or even just with your friends. Google Slides is just like Microsoft PowerPoint. You'll notice many teachers will use PowerPoint or smartboards to make presentations. Presentations are useful in collecting bulleted pieces of information. By bulleted pieces of information, I mean just the details. You aren't going to write a story, but instead you want to use a few words to tell your viewer about what you're speaking about. Now for today, I have some basic things that I'd like to show you. This first slide you see is called a title slide. Here, I would like to give it a title. I'm going to call this My Favorite Pet. And a subtitle would be like an extra description to your title. Dogs are my favorite. Now this slide would contain just the title, much like the cover of a book. Now, something I should mention is that before you even begin, you can choose a theme. Now, a theme would add coloring to the entire presentation, so you can change the way your slides look to better match your presentation. Now, I think, let's see, this is a cool one, and it looks a little casual, which I think the topic is. The next step would be to make a new slide. Let's make a new slide by clicking the plus sign. In the drop-down box, it will give you the option of choosing a different layout for your slide. Now, this could be useful if you're going to say specific types of information on the next slide. Some people like to emphasize things by using a big picture or a big number. But I usually like using title and body, which would be a title to your slide and text. Title and two columns, which would be where you could compare two things. Or sometimes I will choose something else. For now, I'm going to say title and body. I'm going to say beagles. Beagles are a type of dog. Now, I'm going to use bulleted information to describe beagles because I'm making a presentation. My favorite pet. Dogs are my favorite. And so now I'm telling you about one type of dog. Now, the nice thing about presentations is that they can also be used to show images. I think it would be a very useful thing to add an image of a dog. So I'm going to say insert image. Now, you can either upload an image or you can search for images online. So let's say beagle. And you'll see pictures of beagles. This one reminds me of the beagle I had growing up, so I'm going to add this image. I can resize the image so that it's big enough for people to see, but it doesn't take my whole thing. And then I can make the text box smaller. Now I have a slide, and I can add information. Sporty, fun, they like to dig. So now, when I show you a presentation, I can tell you about beagles. This is a beagle. Now, my favorite things about beagles are that they are fast. They like to run around and have a lot of energy. And I find that sporty dogs are more playful and fun. Now, as far as being sporty, you can play games with them. And I think playing games with a dog is more fun. The one thing about them that's unique is that they really like to dig because they were bred to hunt. Now you could add as many words as you like, or you could even add items underneath each topic. But by doing this, I have now made a slide. We can continue this process and as you'll see, I can actually make a really nice presentation by just doing a few searches for images that are relevant. And relevant means that are useful to get my point across. And by having a few descriptions. So when I tell somebody about it, I can look at the little couple of words and I can better describe what I need to describe. This is very useful in school because you'll find that you need to do a project, and it's an easy way to show your audience what you want them to see and give yourself a few words to remind you of what you want to say. Now, a word of caution, keep your slides simple. If you have too many pictures, it'll be too difficult for your audience to see what's going on, or it may even cover your words. This isn't a good slide, even if you see 4 different collies. Keep your sentences small. Try to keep it to a few words, and only use a maximum of 2 or 3 images. Your images should not be the entire slide. Okay? Now, the wonderful thing about slides is that it will automatically save to your Google Drive. Try making your own, using the one that I posted in Google Classroom. We'll be working with this more next week.